Hello, I'm Kevin McDougall, representative from House District 12. As many of you have seen by now, the Facebook Live video that I put out showed a lot of frustration and anger, not only from me, but you've seen it from a number of other folks. And that represents also the frustration and anger that you've seen from teachers for the last 10 or 15 years that the House of Representatives couldn't get anything done. We are working hard to try and get legislation passed so that we can get the teacher pay raise, which did pass, but also money for the classroom. The teacher pay raise, along with every other tax for the last year and a half, a number of us freshmen came in and we voted for those. And we're going to continue to support our teachers with what we do. I do want to talk about a few things that are going around right now. Capital gains tax is a big noise that we're hearing from the other side of the aisle. They'd love for us to hear that. I'd love to fix education in Oklahoma because it's one of the number one drivers for business. We can't get good businesses to come into Oklahoma if we have a poor education system. So once we get our education system in a healthy state, we also have to be looking at other ways to bring businesses to Oklahoma. But we can't kill one by doing good for the other. They have to be simultaneous. And what I mean by that is this. If we pass an increase in income tax and an increase in capital gains, that is not favorable for future business. It may fix a problem right now, but there are other ways to fix that problem, and I'm going to talk about some of those solutions now. Wind tax in Oklahoma, I like a gross production tax on wind, and here's why. 20-some years ago, the state legislature decided that they wanted to give a corporate tax credit to wind energy. And they created $39,000 per windmill per year for a 10-year period of time. $390,000 your state taxes go to pay for these wind energy companies to be here. There are literally thousands of windmills in the state of Oklahoma generating electricity. We also pay their ad valorem tax in their local communities. So it's a huge hit to Oklahoma. Last year we ended the wind tax credit. But because of a contract that we have with those wind companies, it takes 10 years for that contract to roll off. We could break the contract. We could end it immediately. But other businesses would not come into Oklahoma and sign agreements with Oklahoma for fear that we may break them as well. So we honored the agreement, ended the tax credit, but it takes 10 years to roll off. Until that time, we have to be able to charge a gross production tax to wind energy to recover some of that money. They are still calculating exactly how much that will bring in. Guesstimates are anywhere from $25 million to $125 million. I believe personally it'll be somewhere around the $100 million, but we will not know for sure until our administrators give us that number. So with capital gains, think about this. They've talked about having an ag exemption. And a lot of people say, if they have an ag exemption in the bill, would you sign it? Well, ag, for instance, if you buy a cow for $100 and you sell it for $500, you've got a $400 gain that you would have to pay those taxes on. It would kill our farmers unless there's an ag exemption. With the ag exemption, capital gains would not bring enough money into the state of Oklahoma the way it is. And not only that, but in 2004, the people of Oklahoma voted to lower the capital gains, trying to get rid of it. So it would be just like us to go back and go against the vote of the people, which we don't want to do. When the economy took a dive in 2008, it killed us. And so we cannot take away our income tax unless we replace it with something else. In Texas, they have 4 times the property tax. One of the biggest differences in Oklahoma is a lot of our property in Oklahoma is owned by the Indian Nation. So we can't even calculate an exact number on how many acres we'd be able to tax if we raised a property tax. So there's a lot of complications we have to work out there. We did fund the teacher pay raise. We got all those bills passed. It is fully funded, the teacher pay raise. We do still need more money for the classroom, and that's what we're looking for with the wind tax and some other bills. The way that we set up our tax base in Oklahoma, in a great economy, we do very well. When oil and gas is doing well, we do well. When sales are doing well, we do well. One of the biggest problems we have in our tax base in Oklahoma is out of $17 billion that we get in taxes created, the legislature only appropriates 43% of that, approximately $7 billion. Out of that $7 billion, $3.5 billion of it already goes to education. For the last couple of years, we've had a $1 billion shortfall in Oklahoma, and we only have $3.5 billion to fix it with. We've got to quit earmarking our money to go directly to any agency. We can't earmark it directly to public safety. We can't earmark it directly to health department. We can't earmark it to education. Because if we do, now we've created a problem of 57% of our taxes are not appropriated. We have no say over them. They go directly to those agencies. We've got to start rolling that back. Can you imagine owning a business? Or even, let's say that you get an allotment, or your paycheck that you get at your house. You only have control over 43% of that. You have no say over the other 57% of that. It has to sit in an account. You can't pay bills with it. You can't move it around. You can't do anything with it. You pay your bills with the 43% that you're given charge over. It would create a debacle in your house, and it's created a debacle in the House of Representatives. So we have to get that changed. Another change that we have to make is it takes right now 75% of the legislator to be able to pass a tax. It is crazy to sign any kind of a document saying you will never vote for a tax. In Oklahoma, our people say they want good roads and bridges. They want good education. They want good health care. It takes money to pay for those things. We pay over 30% of our taxes to the federal government. I agree, we are taxed enough already. Here are some of the conservative bills that we've run. House Bill 3587 authorizes the governor, speaker, and the pro tem to remove anyone that they've appointed to office. In the past, they took that away so that the governor could not remove an appointment that was put in place by another governor. That meant that she was in a powerless position. She could ask an agency to do something and they didn't have to listen to her because she didn't have the power to at will remove them from office. House Bill 3092 creates an Office of Accountability within the Legislative Service Bureau. House Bill 3581 fixes reporting issues within the Office of Accountability System. House Bill 3209 makes Board of Corrections an advisory entity, transfers appointment of director to the governor. House Bill 2934 makes OHCA Board an advisory entity and transfers the appointment to the governor. House Bill 3584 requires at least 2 Board of Health members to possess business experience. House Bill 3603 makes Board of Tourism an advisory entity and gives that power back to the governor. We've had a governor in office that did not have the ability or power of normal governors like we see in other states. So lots of stuff going on. We had great meetings with educators this last couple of weeks. We've had literally a couple of thousand people that I've personally visited with in the hallways and in our office. All of the schools, Porter, OK, Wagner, Coweta, including Broken Arrow, have visited, and we've had great meetings. Thank you so much for coming to visit. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and have a great day.